blockchain technology is being like applied by weird geniuses to a lot of different stuff.
Right.
And then elaborate, what do you mean by mining?
So you're able to actually like make Bitcoin basically, and I think it's through like solving complex equations and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they can actually get it. Yeah,
computers solve complex equations. The funny thing is, it takes like a huge amount of energy, and that's one of the things that people have been talking about. Is like with the consumption of energy that like mining Bitcoin and other digital currencies takes. Like that could eventually become an issue. Is providing energy for
because there's only so much Bitcoin going around, right? It's not
well
produced,
until it's continued to be mined. I mean, that's one of the issues with that's one of the issues that people have with it, and it not being regulated by the Federal Reserve, which kind of helps to regulate the flow of money within the United States, how we currently see it. And so when other governments like Zimbabwe, they all have a horrible centralized banking system, and so you'll see those ebbs and flows of inflation of thousands and thousands of percentage points, and then huge depreciations of the valuation of their dollar or whatever their currency is called. And so that's one of the issues you see with Bitcoin as well, is there's no centralized bank that's kind of regulating it in the same way, and that's what people like about Bitcoin. But then you get these huge increases and decreases in the value of
so it can never be
Bitcoin.
like the number one source of currency in any given place.
Some people might disagree with that, but it's not looking likely in the near future.
No, not with the volatility of it, but it's more looking like it's just kind of a way in which you can make easy money on kind of a speculative market. So, I mean, kudos to those people who got out when the market was up for Bitcoin, because they made a killing out of that.
Yeah. What do the taxes look like on that though?
I don't know. I did auditing, not tax.
Yeah, I think they're treated as capital gains, whatever that means.
I mean, it
depends.
It depends on how long you would hold the.
Because they'd be treated like stocks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like traditional stocks.
So you would just pay tax on the gains of that, and depending on what income you're at, you pay that bracket.
Right, and I think so if it does become a capital gain, which is where you hold it for longer than a year, I believe, right?
So long-term capital gains, you would have less tax than you would for short-term.
Yes. Yeah, and then for the short-term capital gains, they're usually treated like as traditional income. Yeah. So does that help, Hannah?
Yeah, it's great. I know a friend who paid some law school tuition with they were smart enough to sell some like last December and paid for like a semester or something.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a lot of law school.
Yeah. But yeah, for taxes, they probably held it for a while, so they probably made a sweet gain on the. They probably didn't have to pay much in the way of capital gains tax. So
I'll make sure
the top is 15%, and I think if you're in an even lower like income tax bracket, it might be like 0% or something.
Yeah, what if
like
you're what if you are a student and have no other income?
It's probably close to 0. But again, that's the taxation on the gain of the stock, which for Bitcoin is quite substantial. So yeah, because it's probably like all gain. So
okay, any other hot tax news?
Listenership is going to go through the roof.
Okay, cool. Someone taped Mitch's mouth shut, so we can move on.
So, what you're saying? You're saying complex taxation of capital gains would not enter into this?
We technically haven't started the episode yet. This has all been banter.
This is all banter.
Speaking of bold and brash, did you hear that the creator of SpongeBob died?
Really?
Yeah.
Ian Lou Gehrig's. Yeah, he just died.
He just
57
died.
or I think
he's 57. Yeah.
That was tough.
Truly bold and brash. Does not belong in the trash.
What?
You guys don't watch SpongeBob?
I don't watch it enough, apparently.
I call this one bold and brash. More like belongs in the trash.
I have no idea which one that one was. So there's a new climate change report that was out.
Wait, you skipped Amazon.
I'm skipping that one. I feel like people had enough of accounting and business.
It affects underwater life, such as bikini bottom sponges or Squidwards.
And it stated that it will likely kill thousands of people and shrink the U.S. economy. Wow. So that's
really too bad about the U.S. economy.
Yeah, and that came out of this administration, and then shortly after, Trump said that it was all they disagreed with all of it. So,
well, of course,
yeah,
they can't take ownership for it.
No, didn't he say it was fine? I think he said the report was fine. But he didn't believe the stuff about the economy.
He said this was our coldest Thanksgiving yet, so there is no such thing as climate change.
Was it really? Is it really our coldest Thanksgiving, or was he just saying that?
No, he takes things to an extreme all the time.
Yeah, they turned the heat down by a degree in his little pod, and he was like, "Oh,
it's cold."
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing. Like when people post on Facebook and stuff like, "Huh, this is snowing today? Huh, I guess there's no global warming after all." Like, screw you, scientists. Like, what does that prove, man? Doesn't prove anything. Oh, that the weather happens.
But what's sad is that there's stupid people on Facebook that say that, but then there's also stupid people in the Senate that are bringing snowballs into the Senate, and they throws it around like, "See, look, there's no global warming. It's snowing." Oh, what was that? It was like a senator from...
Sounds like a Lindsey Graham thing to do.
I don't think he was that bad. I think if we look... Oh, yes. James Imhoff, senator from Oklahoma. I think he works for the Heritage... I think he's the president of the Heritage Foundation or something like that now, so...
He brought a snowball into
Yeah,
the
you haven't
Capitol.
seen that before?
No, I haven't seen it. Did he throw it?
Oh, he should have.
They should have a snowball fight.
Yeah.
Oh, why is it I have to look at Ted Cruz?
Provider, C-SPAN, created by cable.
Of national attention, in case we have forgotten, because we keep hearing that 2014 has been the warmest.
He's got it in a
record.
Ziploc.
It's a snowball, and that's just from outside here. So it's very, very cold out, very unseasonal. So, Mr. President, catch this.
Oh. He did throw it. Whoa.
What?
Yeah.
Fake news.
Forget mic drop. The new thing is the snowball drop.
No, you just chuck it at the person.
Snowball.
Yeah. I think he just tossed it onto the ground.
You throw it at the face of anyone who disagrees.
They tossed it at the president of the Senate, whoever that was in 2014 or whatever. So, yeah.
You just pelted at the face of anyone who disagrees.
Case concluded.
So that was proof that there is no global warming?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So all we got to do is find some snow, wait for it to snow, and then we can prove
I think
there's no global warming.
Is that a 703 objection? He's not an expert to testify about what can be described as what should a scientist be doing because he's not an expert. He's just a senator. Is that 703? Rule 703 of evidence?
I don't know.
You got me. I haven't taken evidence yet.
Crickets.
You didn't
Hannah,
take
have
evidence,
you taken
Hannah?
evidence yet?
No, I haven't taken evidence.
Wait, that's
I
not
live
required.
on hearsay. Why would I take evidence?
Do you have it next semester, or
No.
It's not even required.
What is it?
it's not a required class?
No, it's not a required class. I think I'm going to take it next year, though. I'm going to.
Just
I think
for
it is
funsies?
703.
Yeah,
Expert
it's at 8
testimony.
a.m. next semester, so I'm going to wait until Professor Zamoff is teaching it again, probably next fall, hopefully.
The point is, the objection would be sustained because he's not an expert and he's not laid the proper foundation to be able to testify about global warming. Case closed.
Excuse me, but did you see that snowball? It was perfectly round.
Yeah,
You
it
may,
was.
in fact,
It
be
was-
an expert.
At least at making snowballs, he must be an expert because that was a perfectly formed snowball.
What was that? I didn't even see it.
you can hear it later.
Yeah, I'll look it up later in my free time. Look up snowballs when I'm studying for finals. Fair enough.
So how are thousands of people dying?
Just from the global warming. So from so they talked about like more extreme weather conditions. I mean, kind of like what we've seen in California, where we've had those huge fires. I think the problem is that unlike this senator from Oklahoma, I think most scientists don't want to point to any one event as proof of climate change or of the results from climate change. So, but they have said more disasters will be more prevalent, increased hurricane intensity and things like that.
Ice caps are supposed to be all melted by 2100.
Sea level rise.
That too.
Like 70% of the world's population lives, within, 100 feet of the coastline. So the sea level rise is just an inch or,
well,
3 or 4, and
it's already risen
a lot
like
of
7
people
to 8
are
inches.
kind of screwed.
already.
Yeah.
Survival of the fittest.
Never go.
Just start
Survival of the most landlocked with lakes. I don't know.
Speaking
Minnesota's
of
going to do probably
wildfires,
all right.
did you see that
Till there are
article
water
about
wars.
that guy who started a forest fire in like Arizona or something after like a gender reveal party?
Yeah, I
What?
did see the headline, but
like,
I don't know the
like
story.
he had a gender reveal party and he shot like an explosive target with a rifle and it exploded with the color. It like exploded blue. Woo! There's a silver lining.
Was
in
it for himself? He
No.
was letting everyone know that he
Well,
was
with his
identified
wife.
as male. Oh,
And then
it was for a baby.
when the target blew up, like the powder burst into flames and landed in the field and then started like a fire that cost $8 million.
Wow.
And like people had to leave their house. No one died or anything, but it was like, I don't remember how much it was, but yeah, it was like $8 million and now he has to pay like $200,000 in restitution and he's on 5 years probation.
It'd be great to do a gender reveal party and then just have the balloon or whatever explode and it would just said TBD.
I don't get the big hype of that.
a gender
Of
reveal.
gender reveals. Like, they don't even know
you
their
have children.
They don't even know their gender yet. We can't even assign it to them until they're born and they can have rational thoughts on their own.
Yeah, I just don't see why it matters at all. It's just, it's like weddings. People just want to have a party that's about them.
You know what'll be good when they're doing the gender reveal party by shooting a rifle at something and letting it explode.
That's true. I mean, it sounds like a good party, but I don't really know why
Yeah.
the babies had to be part of it. Oh. So, do you wish that you had waited until after law school to buy a house, or are you happy
Yes.
that you did? Yeah.
No, after.
Why is that?
Just the financial aspect of it. I feel like I would be able to afford law school a lot more if I didn't have a mortgage to pay. And
But isn't your mortgage probably cheaper than most rents would be around the area?
there's a lot more that goes into it, like all the insurance and the property taxes. And so if you're just looking at the mortgage, yes, it's cheaper. But with everything added up, I have to pay sewer and all that stuff, which you wouldn't have to pay at a rental place.
You should go sovereign.
I should.
Then you don't have to pay for any of the services.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're always selling home ownership as a good idea, and for some people it is. But I mean, if I were to ever buy a house, it would something radical would have to change.
A tiny house. You
I
could
could
buy
see
a
you
tiny
buying
house.
like
I could do a tiny house. Yeah,
I could see that too, the tiny house. But I could also see you doing like a farm or something, like so you can like have all your 20 dogs.
yeah.
Run around
I
and
would
stuff like
consider
that.
like a large, property sanctuary, dog sanctuary.
Yeah. With a little teeny micro house on there.
Yeah, tiny house.
My wife and I wanted to start a therapy farm because she works in mental health. So like all the therapy animals and stuff, like people can come out, hang out with pigs and goats and stuff. Like oink oink. And then
That's what pigs. Those are pigs.
no, those
The
are the
oink
goats.
oink ones.
Those are the goats.
No, the goats are the moo.
Oh yeah. But no, I think that would be a good thing for like people to experience because I don't think a lot of people have experience with hanging out on farms and doing stuff like that. It's good therapy. I feel like give you responsibility. Random trivia, couple shame.
Oh yeah, cup of shame.
Why?
Shame.
Give me
I
an
gotta
easy
get out
one.
mine.
I'm not the brightest student.
No, give her a difficult one.
No, please.
She's already heard all these questions on
I
her
have not.
podcast, so
That
you
is
gotta
not
be
true.
gotta give it a doozy.
I didn't even know who she picked for The Bachelorette.
Yeah, thanks for reminding us.
All right. Are you ready?
Ooh, Loving V. Virginia.
Sorry, I only give that to U of M students. All right, are you ready?
No.
Okay, great. So, what is one state that is within the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals?
Not the slightest clue.
Yeah, so
Wow.
you got
Give you, there's
I'm
1 out of
going-
50
you got a 1 in
chance.
50
Out
chance.
of 50. I'm going East Coast. Am I way off?
A little bit.
A little bit? Then South Texas.
Nope, sorry.
What are the
So,
states?
What?
What are the states?
The states are Wisconsin, Illinois, and Indiana.
You're close.